What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Gear Vault. And today in the vault, we've got the best 22 rifle for kids. Now, I'll preface this video with saying what I always say, and that is when I say the best, that is strictly subjective and my opinion. However, I think that you're gonna be hard pressed to find a better option than this one as far as a new shooter. And that is gonna be the Savage Rascal. I just like saying it, Savage Rascal. So there are a few things that make this rifle the best, in my opinion, for a new shooter. A couple of obvious ones is gonna be the size and weight. Length of pull on this is like right around 11 inches. So it is, it is super short. So you can see if I mount this gun the way I normally would, my head is by the by the bolt. So it's a short little gun. So not only is it short, but it only weighs 2.66 pounds. So very lightweight, very manageable. You got a 16-inch barrel. So I mean, it's just designed for a small shooter. I feel like one of the biggest frustrations that kids have whenever they're starting to learn how to shoot is they just can't hold the dang things up, right? Either that or they can't reach the trigger. That causes bad habits. They can't work on an actual form and actually how they're supposed to be shooting, because that's the whole point of this, is to teach them the proper ways to handle a firearm, how to aim, how to pull the trigger the right way. And none of that is gonna be able to be taught very effectively if nothing fits them. So you're not gonna have, that kid not gonna be back on his legs, you're, way back here trying to hold it up. I mean, you can have a pretty small shooter actually hold this thing and hold it the right way, standing up. It's not a big deal. It's just 2.5 pounds. So next, from just a safety point of view, you do have a single shot with this one. There's no magazine, no tube. It's just single shot, pull the bolt back, drop one in, close it. So why is that better? You don't have the ability to have a kid just start pulling the trigger. Like 10/22s and stuff are awesome. I don't think they're the best for someone who has zero experience with it. This one, if the kid shoots, now granted, this isn't what they're supposed to do, but we all know that things happen. If a kid shoots, bang, hits a pop can, hey, I hit it. They turn around and it's just gonna happen. I mean, you try to avoid that and you try to keep that from happening. And you should keep that from happening. However, in the event that something like that happened, you've got one bang, this thing is dead safe again. You do have a 2-position safety there, push to fire. So it's gonna kind of train them to use any other rifle as they get bigger. So it's just everything about it, even down to the trigger. You do have the Savage AccuTrigger in there, and that's not a bad trigger. I'm personally not a fan of the AccuTrigger, but as far as one for a kid to shoot, it's not bad. It doesn't have a lot of creep. You can adjust the poundage down pretty low. I think it comes down to like 3.5 is what it comes out of the box at. You can go down to 1.5 and up to 6, I think, kind of depending on what you want. So as a kid gets more comfortable with that trigger, you can kind of bring them down and ideally, improve their accuracy with it. I think going down to 1.5 on a kid's gun is maybe a little bit light, but I guess once they're trained up and responsible, it's going to be fine. For the sights on this, from the box, you're going to have a peep sight. And one of the main reasons that I purchased this rifle was because of the peep sight. So if you've ever tried to explain to a kid how to look down just your regular, blade sights, trying to teach them how to line that up and then put it on the target, you're drawing pictures and stuff. It's really hard to get it to click in their head what you're actually wanting them to do. You can draw a picture all you want, but it's just kind of hard to explain. So what I have found is with the peep sight, it's so much easier. It's like, hey, look through this hole and put this in the middle of it and you're gonna be lined up. So that has been a lot easier to teach, as well as if a kid is having a little bit of issue finding that hole and looking through it, you can actually thread that peep out and then you're just gonna end up with a big circle. And if you're within 10 yards of like a pop can or something, that's honestly still precise enough to hit a can, even without that peep in there. So a good way to get them started, just take it out right from the beginning. Can you see through that? Cool. All right, now let's put this in. Now can you see through it? It's really easy to to step up what you're doing. It's really easy to teach it, and it's more natural for the human eye to just start lining up circles and dots rather than trying to put it in the middle of a V. You've also got sling swivel studs in this, so I mean, if your kid wants a sling on there to be like dad, that's cool. Otherwise, you can put a bipod on here for like shooting prone. That would be kind of cool. As far as features, the rifle has basically everything that you would want in a youth rifle. But the one thing that will keep your kid from wanting to continue to shoot and to learn to shoot is if they don't hit anything. And that's been the nicest thing about this Savage versus like a Cricket and some other options out there. I'm thinking specifically Crickets because in 4-H we used to have some kids that shot those and it was terrible. I mean, the accuracy was just not that great. This thing, I mean, it'll shoot half-inch groups at 50 yards, you know, so it's kind of like, it's really impressive. And it's nice to know that if your kid misses, it's them and you got to work on what they were doing and it's not in any way, shape, or form the rifle. So having an accurate rifle, even in a kid's rifle, is super important. You need to build that confidence up. They need to see the cans jumping around. They need to hear the steel ringing. All that is very important for helping build their confidence and making it fun, which is the name of the game. You want them to have fun. You want them to say, hey, next weekend, let's do this again. And the last best thing about this rifle is the price. So this thing's only 150 bucks. I know guys that go out and blow through $150 worth of ammo shooting their own rifles every weekend. So if you've got a kid, there's zero excuse to not have this thing in your safe, $150, ready to rock and roll. You can start teaching them safety, trigger pull, all the things about shooting positions. I mean, everything that you want to teach, you can teach on this rifle. If I could change maybe one thing about it, I would probably say, I think it should come with like some really just cheap Picatinny mounts on top for throwing a scope on. You can buy scope mounts for it, but there isn't actually that many people that make them, which is kind of surprising. Because that's like the next thing that I want to do with this, right? Is I want to get a scope on it, now start teaching, you know, how to use a scope, you know, what you're looking at, because it is a different sight picture. I feel like it's probably going to be easier to teach, honestly, but that's what I want to do next. So I ordered a set of mounts from Walmart, I think, for, I want to say it was like $9. And then I got on Amazon and ordered the cheapest 3-to-9 scope on there. I'm not going to tell you the price right now because I want to see if it's worth the crap. But if it works like I hope it will, it's going to be one sweet budget rifle for a kid. So if you have a young person that's looking to get into shooting or hunting, if they're, you know, on the smaller side of things currently, definitely give this a look. I don't think you're going to be sad for $150. It's got everything that you're going to want. And if they shoot this for a few months and decide they like it and they want some more features, they do make this in a target version, which is going to give you like a little bit heavier barrel. It's going to give you the more, you know, vertical grip on the stock, just a few more bells and whistles and stuff like that. I think that model actually comes with a scope on it. I want to say it's around $450 or so. So that's a good option if you already know your kids are going to like it, but not every kid is going to like it and not every kid is going to be ready for it. Sometimes they hear the crack or they just get scared. You know, you just never know what's going to happen. So I say, why spend $400 when you can spend $150 and figure out all those things, and you're going to have what I can guarantee you is a plenty accurate rifle for a kid to learn on with all the features that you're going to need to keep them safe and keep them happy and keep them shooting. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of the Savage Rascal 22 youth rifle. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever used one. What does your kids shoot? Till next time, y'all be safe.